Hey, what's going on, Archons? Welcome to another Boulevard Blake YouTube video. Today, we're cracking open a Winds of Exchange deck. I decided to highlight the Wild Wormhole mat, which is the very first playmat I ever won, actually, in any game, now that I think about it. And it was my very first time ever playing Sealed. And so this is a super special mat to me. I actually use it under my keyboard always, so I always see it. It's pretty awesome. For those of you who don't know, I actually put a lot of thought into the mat I have on display when I make videos. It is a big part of my decision-making process when doing videos, believe it or not. I don't know why. I don't think anyone really cares or notices, but for me, it is something that I do love. I love showcasing the different mats, especially in relation to houses and whatnot for whatever I'm creating a video for. So let's get into this. Let's crack this. So I'm going to crack this. I always like to, when I'm doing a deck analysis, is do it under the guise of a certain activity when playing Keyforge. And for this one, it's going to be Keyforge for Sealed single deck. So let's say you were to go to a store and you're going to now play Sealed, but you're only going to play Sealed with a single deck. Instead of having the alliance aspect, this is just what I'm calling classic Sealed, which is kind of the theme for this week. Classic Sealed in Keyforge is this week's theme. I really am excited to get to play Winds of Exchange in a classic, oh my god, this deck, in a classic way. So let's get into it. Let's look at this from a single deck Sealed standpoint. How would you make it work? And this is Kidnathus, the Ambassador Partisan. And we have Sanctum, Brobnar, Equidon with the Trader. Oh, I was so hoping for a Prospector. I still haven't got a Prospector token, and it's killing me. Like, it's absolutely killing me. I have so much plans for a Prospector. So let's do this old school. This is going to be old school. So put the card aside. And yes, the Trader token. Action. Steal one. Destroy Trader. So not a bad one. And let's see what the deck has in store for us. What does this deck have in store? Autocannon. Wow. That sucks. Then we have Iron Obelisk. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Pingle Who's a Noise. Okay, so that's pretty good. Two Pingles Who Annoys with a Ember. Earthshaker. Okay, I'm actually really liking this Brobnar. Berserker Slam. Brick Nasty. Bumpsy. Fire Spitter. Fresh Marks with a draw and an Ember Pip. Might Club with a Ember Pip. Okay, I wonder if there's a Curse Relic in here now. Another Might Club. Staff Up. Okay, I've never seen this card before, so let's take a second to read it. For the remainder of the turn, when any amount of Ember would be added to your pool, make that many token creatures instead. Well, that's a big womp womp with this. Nifflepaw. Puzzling Trinket. Okay. Here we go. Maybe there's a little extra pips coming. When you resolve an Ember bonus icon, you may choose to resolve it as a capture, a damage, or a draw. Okay, I like that. Trade Secrets. Discard any number of Equidon cards from your hand. Steal one for each card discarded this way. All right. Forced Retirement. Destroy a creature if you do. Controller gains 1. General Zaorha. For each forged creature your opponent has, make a token with an Ember Pip on it. Another General. Higher on with a Pip on it. And this is make a token creature if there's 6 or more between both players in the pool archive. Ornate talking tray. Destroy ornate talking tray, make a token creature. There must not be a cursed relic in here. Okay, there might be one or two of these. Steward Su Uziani, one of my favorites. And yep, there's the second one. I knew it. With a draw pip. And then we have a visible hand. Make 2 token creatures, reveal your hand. And then here we go, on to Sanctum. When this creature would be dealt damage, if it has one or more neighbors, that damage is divided among its neighbors as evenly as possible. Oh, that's interesting. Does that essentially mean this creature never takes damage? That is very interesting. I kind of like that card. Martyr's End. So, destroy any number of friendly creatures. Gain 1 for each creature destroyed this way. Baldric the Bold. So this is, we know this one classic. If it fights the most powerful enemy creature, you get 2 before fight. The Grey Abyss. Make a friendly token creature. Each token creature gets 1 armor. There we go. That's what we needed. That is a sick combo now. Lightbringer Outpost. Love this one. Put a friendly creature on the bottom of its owner's deck. If you do, a friendly creature captures 3. Great Outpost. Shoulder Armor. Love it. Another Shoulder Armor. Celestial Gorm. I really like this card. A big thought about this is I think Celestial Gorm plays in Alliance when you're making as artifact control, because a lot of the time Eaton's Jar is kind of the boogie monster right now because it can stop you from playing things. But if Celestial Gorm can have you lift it, it's no longer an effect. You could play your cards because it's Omni and then kind of get around it, which I think is cool. Colonel Mariana, one of my favorite cards if you got some good night synergy. Membership Drive. Make a token creature, gain 1 for each token. Love that card. Muster, make a token creature. If opponent has more, archive. Amazing. Then lastly, we have Outflank with an extra pip on it. Each Sanctum Flank creature captures 2 from its opponent. Okay, honestly, I like this deck for sealed. I actually really like this deck for sealed, not even properly analyzing it. But let's do that. So pips, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 Ember pips, okay? And then if you got that trinket, that's huge. And creatures we got, this is where it's really going to wonder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 creatures. So low creature count, but lots of pips, which makes sense. Unfortunately, the token is not got staying power, but it does happen to have the greatness that the Grey Abyss provides. So that's going to get around autocannon on your side. And I mean, there's not a lot of creatures to utilize in that way, but the double Pingle with autocannon means every creature entering gets dealt 3 damage. That is huge board potential right there. I'm really liking, like, I would have a ton of fun playing this in sealed. If this was just open a deck and play sealed at a store level, 100% I would not be disappointed in this deck. There's enough fun things that win or lose, I can tell this deck would be a lot of fun. Now, what do we have for Ember Control? This is where this deck is going to shine too, but unfortunately needing creatures to capture, there is not a lot of Sanctum creatures in here, so that it doesn't work as well. There's 3 total. Martyr's End isn't great either because you don't have a lot of stuff. It's going to come down to token making, I think, to really boost your creature count. So we'll look at that in a second. But Ember Control, we got 1, 2, 3. This is helpful with the lack of creatures. 4. I like this card. I'm super stoked about this. That's cool. 5, 6, 7. I'm glad 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm glad that the majority of the creatures are in Brobnar. That is actually very helpful. So 6 Ember control, not too bad. And then let's look at board control here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Good board control. It's very interesting board control too. It could be, I mean, once the Pingles are out, there's a chance that it's really oppressive to your opponent. So that's really cool. I'd look to put Pingles with shoulder armor just to make it so my opponent's really getting hammered. And then efficiency. I mean, let's look at it all. So efficiency, we got 1, I mean, this, call that 2, 3, 4, 5. So about 5 in efficiency. Disruption, there's a few disruption things in here. All the damage and things like that. And then lastly, let's see how many token creatures we can make. Cards that make token creatures. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Don't think there's any here. 9 cards. That's a good number, and some of them create a great amount. One thing that kind of popped out to me here is with all the token creatures I can make in this. So like here, membership drive. Is that the only 2? 3, and Grey Abyss. I would almost consider Martyrs ending a lot of them, especially if I'm not planning on going into Equidon next turn, just to get that as a burst potential. I mean, if you could create all of them membership drive into Martyr's End, that would be huge. A friendship. Oh, I really like this. There's a lot of targets I'd like to do for that. Equidon is where I'm having like, it's definitely Brobnar, I think, is where you're going to be spending most of your time. It's the main house. Sanctum's going to provide the burst in different ways, and then this is also a support / burst depending on how the cards come, but you're definitely spending most of your time in Brobnar, and I'm not mad about that at all. I actually really like this deck. I'm incredibly excited to get this online and play Kidnathus the Ambassador Partisan. 100% very excited to play this in a sealed environment. If this was my sealed deck, I'd be having a blast. Win or lose, I can tell this deck would be a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this and it was helpful. And as always, folks, may your Ember never be stolen and your keys forged promptly. Oh, one more thing. Please do like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts if you had this as a sealed deck. Would you enjoy playing this? Have a good one.